Hello everyone, we're all good. Big shout out to KRCT Couriers and Transport Limited. And a big thank you to everyone who likes, shares, comments and subscribes to the All or Nothing podcast with myself, Billy Moore. I've got in the car today a special guest called Heidi Robinson. Now Heidi has got a story to tell. She's had a traumatic upbringing, and I'll let her tell you herself. And I want to just say a big thank you to Dave, by the way, who introduced me to Heidi. He's a friend of both ours. So Heidi, tell us a little bit about what you've just been sharing with me about growing up and the psychosis you had and the drug taking and the fact that you thought you were someone else.
Yeah, well, my drug taking started as it does, when you're around school age, college age. I became addicted to alcohol. I think these warped my mind a little bit, and I became deluded and I thought I was a missing girl.
A very famous missing girl, actually, yeah.
And, I was going through a lot mentally. I was hearing voices. I was thinking the people around me were all against me, even my family. It was hot. It was really horrible to go through. But luckily, yeah.
And do you think this is brought on by like you mentioned you were on coke and speed and trips and copious amounts of weed? Do you think that kind of well, obviously I believe it added to your psychosis and
definitely, yeah,
and the delusional kind of thinking? Yeah.
I think that they've warped my mind, definitely.
So how did you kind of surrender?
I got help in the end.
Yeah.
I was sort of just when you want to bury your head in the sand, I was doing that and I had to face it. I had to just come up and face everything, and I got the help I needed. I got 3 mental health nurses who came round to see me, got put on medication, and that really saved me from the psychosis and depression and also anxiety.
Was you at an all-time low in a place where you wanted to end it? Is that have you got to them places before?
Yeah, about 5 times.
Wow,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's
I've attempted them. Yeah.
And do you know when you hear the stories of people who feel that desperate that they want to end it? It's like people say, "Oh, they must be brave." It's not. It's you just totally lost your mind, haven't you?
Yeah, it's like you can't see a way through. The only way I can explain it is you come out, you want to come out of your flat or your house and just go and scream. It's like, it's just, you just can't see a way through. No help. You just don't know where you're gonna go or what you're gonna do. You're desperate.
Yeah, and you've had you've been involved in a toxic relationship with a female who tell us about that. She slashed you and bit you and stuff like that,
Yes,
you got slashed across the face, didn't you?
Yeah, it's just there. It's healing now.
Yeah.
I'm there as well.
So what happened there? What was going on?
Well, it was very up and down relationship. It was my first lesbian relationship. I'm bisexual.
Yeah.
And it was very on and off, but the highs were really high and the lows were really low.
Yeah.
This particular night, I could sense that things were getting irate. So I wanted to go home. I had work the next day, and she ended up chasing me, and we ended up having a scuffle, and I ended up on the floor, and she brought a shard of glass with her and slashed me face. And people phoned the ambulance, and the ambulance came and that.
So you've had a really tough area, and for all the years from growing up, you mentioned Heidi's an actress, she's a singer, she's very talented. You've been in a few films, you've recently been in one called Down and Out.
That's the one, yeah. I'm doing this year, yes.
That was for charity, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you're doing a bit of paid work at the moment as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a positive, but it just goes to show the struggles, that people go through.
Yeah.
Do you think people look at you and go, "No, you just look all right"? Your sounds and that, but mentally you're just you've lost it, you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
And you've still got an ongoing battle now, you mentioned with alcohol.
Yeah.
How'd you find kind of letting go of that? What's the fear of absolutely, completely and utterly stopping? What prevents you from doing that?
It's that feeling of not having a care in the world, I suppose. Just, you know, like, and just when you get to that point, it's just a very small point before you start getting, you know, drunk or whatever, but it's that feeling where you feel quite happy and, you know, everything's fine and you have a laugh. And
answer me this question, right? Okay, so you're abstinent at the minute.
yes.
You haven't had nothing, yeah? How do you feel, like, mentally when you're clear-minded? Is that the battle that you go through? Because you just mentioned with the drugs and the alcohol, you know, because you're pressing everything. It's all, you know, you're in a happy place. So is it like you can be in a happy place? Sober, I suppose. But it's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, I have the thoughts that creep in all the time. Many different thoughts. I've actually written a song called Battle and Drink.
Have you?
On it with, you know, the thoughts. You know, it's sunny, do I want to drink? It's, oh, what a rubbish day. You know, I'll have a drink. Oh, it's a good day. You know, it's about that. So
it doesn't matter whether it's wet or dry or sunny or you're high or on life or you're low, you know, you can always find an excuse basically to pick up and fuck up again. But yeah, so you're doing a few things going forward. So tell us a little bit about, before we finish, and, you know, tell us a little bit about what you're doing now with yourself.
Yeah, I'm in a production called Auntie, which is going to be performed in March, the beginning of March.
Brilliant.
I play Auntie. I'm in Once a Blue, which is going to be performed in Hope Street Theatre in April, and I play Ryan's mum. And I'm also released an EP which is out on Friday.
Once a Blue, by the way, is something to do with everything. That's all we made up. Yeah, so an EP's getting released on Friday.
Yeah, and
what's
that's
an EP?
Called it's like a small album.
Yeah.
It's called Sunrise After Pain. So it's like got a mixture of songs in from me mental, you know, mental, what I was going through. One of the things is camouflaged, and that's how you camouflage yourself to try when you're trying not to be mentally ill. You're trying to fit in and be happy and normal, and so that's what I was doing. So that's camouflaged, one of the songs, and then there's some happy songs as well on it where they've come through it a bit. Still battling alcohol, but yeah, where they've come through it.
But you're here today.
Yeah.
And with that, you know, it's really been a pleasure, you know, chatting with you, and thanks.
Oh, thank you so much, Billy.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you. And with that, everyone, thanks for watching, and you take care. Ta-ra.